Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Kaylee and today I'm going to be talking about books. So in today's video I'm going to be talking about all of the books that I'm going to be getting rid of. I know the pile is a little lopsided, sorry. All of the books that I'm going to be unhauling and just going through why I'm getting rid of them. So first we have The Family Upstairs by Lisa Jewell. And this book I rated 3 stars. It wasn't bad, but it just wasn't great, and I've kind of come to the conclusion that that's just how I feel with Lisa Jewell. I've also read The Girls in the Garden, and I felt kind of the same. I mean, this one was a little bit harder to get into for me just because I didn't feel connected to the characters. I didn't really care about what happened to them, honestly. I mean, more as I got more into it, I got more invested, but still not 100%, so yeah. There's just no point in keeping this. I definitely won't be rereading it, and I think someone else would get a lot more out of it than I did, hopefully. Up next, we have Shirley Jackson's The Lottery, but the graphic novel adaptation by Miles Hyman. This one was okay. I also rated it 3 stars because I'd already read The Lottery, and I just really wanted to read a graphic novel, I think, but for me, like, I think I just wanted to read a graphic novel, and that's why I got this. But for me, the illustrations they aren't really my style. You know, they're very like, I don't know, this kind of look. And I don't know, maybe this is for you and it's your style and that's why I'm gonna get rid of it. So hopefully someone like that can find it. But for me, it just wasn't interesting. I like the cover though, so there's that. Up next, we have Supermarket by Bobby Hall. And don't mind the sticker, I know it bothers some people, sorry about that. But this one I got, oh my gosh. This one I got because I was just walking around Target one day, and I mean the cover, it intrigued me, it did, because it's interesting. It's just this, like, no author name, no anything. So I was like, it's kind of cool. And so I picked it up, I was like reading the back, I was like, oh, okay, interesting. I did not even realize until I got home that Bobby Hall is Logic, and like maybe that's common knowledge, the rapper Logic, but I didn't get that. Anyway, I found that out, and then I was like, this is not that good, and maybe he should stick to rapping, you know. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Basically, it's just about a guy who works in a supermarket and he starts kind of going crazy, and you're following him as he just dives deeper into these delusions, and you don't know what's real and what's fake anymore. And I mean, it's like, it sounds like a good plot. It's a little bit, you know, overdone kind of, but it just wasn't great in execution. The writing was not great. It was really repetitive, really simple. And I'm not even, like, I'm not saying it needs to be, like, a masterpiece. You know, it was not great. Next, we have An Elephant in the Garden by Michael Morpurgo. And this one was gifted to me by my aunt and uncle for Christmas, so thank you so much. And I did read it, but it was a little bit young for me, I think. And I don't know, I think the story would just be cherished a little bit more by someone a little bit younger who could maybe get more out of it, but it was like a really cute story, and so I also gave this one a 3 star. Up next, we have the Snark Handbook Insult Edition by Lawrence Dorfman, and this was just like a funny gift from my uncle, so thank you for this. It was fun, but you know, there's just no room for it on my bookshelves anymore, so I'd rather keep room for books that I've yet to read or that I absolutely adore, and this one is not even a book that you like really read. It's just, you know, funny little insults and whatnot, and I really liked it, the parts of it that I did read, but like I said, it's just not something I would keep. Up next, I have The Dinner by Herman Koch. I'm not sure, but this one I did DNF at like 60, 70, 80 pages in, somewhere around there, and I just could not get into it. So basically this book follows 2 sets of parents. One is like kind of like a really wealthy, famous couple, and the other is like more simple, but I believe the 2 husbands are brothers, and they are going to a dinner to discuss something that their sons did. And you know, I was like, that's kind of interesting, like something different, a different take on like a thriller. But it was just so boring. Like I think that if I could have gotten into like where the action really started, I could have liked this book more, but I couldn't even get there because there was just so much about the actual restaurant and the waiter and how they held their pinkies and the food. And it's like, okay, I get it, it's called The Dinner, but I've been to a restaurant before, I don't need the play-by-play of how it goes. And like I just felt like the author was really trying to pull out the story, make it longer, when in reality he could have just made this like an 100-page book, and I think it would have been good. Yeah, but like I said, I don't even know I DNF'd it. And I even, before I DNF like a book that's a thriller, I've only ever done this one other time with The Wife Between Us, which I did not like, I DNF'd it. But I will look up the plot twist and I'll see like, okay, is that a good plot twist or no? This plot twist was not even a plot twist, it was like basically what I expected, so really disappointing. Anyway, the next book on here is The Deep by Nick Cutter. Okay, so this one I actually gave a 4-star, and I did enjoy it. It was a little bit hard at certain points. It felt a little bit slow, a little bit like it could have been maybe like 50 pages shorter. I feel like that's a common problem in these books, is that the authors maybe are trying to pull out more pages than they need to, and if they just made the book shorter, they would be better, in my opinion at least. And this is kind of one of them. I really liked it though. It had some really interesting scenes, really like strange, bizarre stuff happening. It's basically, there's a disease that's going around called the Gets, and it's making people forget things. And at first will be small things like, oh, I forgot, you know, to lock my car, or like I forgot my keys or whatever. But then it starts getting bigger and bigger to like, I don't remember what airplanes are, or like I don't remember what TVs are. And then eventually people will forget that they need to like eat, or that they need to drink, and they die because they just forget these things. And so the scientists are trying to figure out a cure, and they think they found something, but it's really deep, like under the water somewhere. I don't remember a lot of this book apparently. But so this guy, he goes, because his brother is a really smart guy, and he goes down there, and so you're following him, and he's like, why was I even chosen to go down here? And following his relationship with his brother and him trying to solve this problem, and all the while his son has been missing, and so he's dealing with that grief. And yeah, there's just a lot to this book, but it's Nick Cutter, so it's a very graphic at some parts, and I mean, not anything super crazy, but kind of. Yeah, like the scenes with the bees I thought were really interesting. I really liked that, I'm not gonna lie. I liked the craziness of it, I did, but like I said, some parts were just like a little slow for me, I felt. Second to last on this list, we have Lock Every Door by Riley Sager, and this one I also gave a 4-star. This book I know is very popular and on BookTube, and so I really wanted to read it. I had never read Riley Sager before. This was the only one I've ever read, and it was okay. It was okay. Like, I would read another Riley Sager, but I'm not sure. Like, it's hard for me to say, because while I was reading this one, I was invested in it, I was liking the story, but after I was like, I mean, it was alright. You know, I mean, I gave it a 4-star, so I guess it was pretty good in my opinion, but yeah, basically, if you don't already know, this story follows a girl who moves into this infamous hotel called the Bartholomew, and it's like a bunch of really famous people live there, but a bunch of really tragic things have happened there, and it's really famous for that. And it's also very like hush hush if you live there, you know, you don't talk to other people, you don't like get in people's business, you don't tell the secrets that you learn, and you're following her, and she lives there. She's getting paid to live there because they have a vacancy, and they tell her that they want her to fill it because they don't want it to look like the place is empty. And so she lives there, and weird things start happening, and you're following her, and you're trying to figure out what's going on. Is it paranormal? Is it, you know, like, what is it? And I mean, the ending reveal is something that is so unexpected. I will not lie. I could have never predicted it ever, but like, was it good? Yeah, it was good, but like, was it great? No. And the writing is good. Like, the writing, it kept me in. Like I said, I read it fast, and like I was invested while I was reading it, but afterwards I was looking back on it and I was like, is this really something super great? No. And it like is big in size, so like it takes up a lot of space on the bookshelves, so she's good to go. Okay, sorry if it's a little bit different. It's a teensy bit later. I just realized I forgot the last book of the Unhaul, which is The Wicker King by K. Ingram, and I'll put it up somewhere, but I don't have the physical copy with me because I gave it to my sister. But this one follows two boys who have been best friends for a while, and one of them kind of starts losing his hold of reality, and that's all I'll say because I feel like it's kind of better to go in knowing not as much. But I ranked this one a 3-star also, and I honestly I think it was kind of my fault. I don't think I really knew what I was getting into. It seemed more like a YA book to me. I'm not sure if it is or not. It probably is. And not that there's anything wrong with YA. It's just I wasn't expecting it at the time, and so I didn't really mesh with it well. It was okay though. I read it really fast. It was really interesting, and it's told in like a multimedia kind of way. So there's like newspaper clippings, I think. There's just like random things sprinkled throughout, which makes it look really interesting. And as the pages go on, the pages get darker and darker until eventually the pages are black with white writing on it, which I think is really interesting. Yeah, because you're like following him more into this delusion, kind of like Supermarket, but it's done much better. And yeah, overall I just thought it was okay, but I think that was mainly my fault because I didn't know what to expect. So yes, and I gave it to my sister because she likes how the pages turn black, and hopefully she ends up liking it a little more than I did. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day, and if you have any thoughts on any of these books, let me know down in the comments. Leave a like if you feel, and I'll see you next time.